We told you it was a busy day, and it certainly is. Developments at Chelsea. James Savundra is back. What can you tell us?
Chelsea have been looking to sign a centre-back in this transfer window, and they're close to agreeing a deal with Crystal Palace to sign Maxence Lacroix. Now, the two clubs have been in talks for the last few days around a permanent move for the France international, who played in that World Cup semi-final last week against Spain. Now, we understand that Palace were looking for a fee of more than £55 million. They were using the Jean-Paul Van Hecke transfer fee as a bit of a guideline in terms of what they'd be looking for. Van Hecke had 1 year left in his contract. Spurs paid Brighton £55 million. Lacroix still has 3 years left in his contract. So Crystal Palace went into this transfer window in a really, really good place. Now, Palace and Chelsea enjoy really good relationships. They've done plenty of deals over the course of the last few transfer windows. But Xabi Alonso has entered the club this summer as a manager rather than head coach, and he's made it clear he wants to sign a centre-back in this transfer window, and Lacroix was one of several targets they were looking at in this transfer window. He's 26 years of age. We know Chelsea want to sign players with a bit more experience, players that are ready to make their mark in the Premier League, and Lacroix has had 2 really solid seasons at Crystal Palace, seasons which have seen him enter the France territory of becoming a French international, and we saw him part of that World Cup squad with France. We saw him win the Conference League with Crystal Palace last season. He helped to fill the void left by Mark Gay in defence in January, and he's done a brilliant job at Crystal Palace. So whether or not he's ready for this step up, Chelsea feel like he is, and talks really are advanced now. They're close to a deal, Chelsea, to sign Maxence Lacroix from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shift from what we've seen with Chelsea in terms of what we've seen in how they buy players and their extended contracts and so on and so forth. So this is a slight shift we're seeing in terms of Xabi Alonso being at the helm now.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, you could argue with Marco Palestra and Morgan Rogers that they're still signing young players, but Morgan Rogers is a player who's got 2.5 years of Premier League experience. I mean, you can go completely the other way in terms of their approach to sign Granit Xhaka, which they failed in from Sunderland because he turns 34 later this year. But Lacroix is at that perfect age, you feel like. He can still get much better as well. He's a physically imposing defender, very fast, one of the fastest centre-backs in the Premier League. But he has got that experience, so he can hit the ground running, as well as having the ability to get even better. Chelsea do have a number of centre-backs already, but we would expect there to be plenty more sales in this transfer window. People look at the amount of money Chelsea are spending in this transfer window and they wonder how they're doing it. Well, they do it because they are world-class at selling players. They're getting in a huge amount of money. They've already brought in around £130 million when it comes to player sales already in this window. That will increase when the Alejandro Garnacho deal goes through next summer. They've got £17 million in compensation from Enzo Maresca becoming the Manchester City manager. So they're very well placed. Yes, they have to be very prudent. They have to ensure they comply with the UEFA guidelines this year, despite the fact they're not in Europe, because they've got a 4-year agreement with UEFA to fit within UEFA guidelines and Premier League guidelines as well they need to fit within. But they feel like they can get this deal done, and I think they back themselves. If they do get a deal done for Lacroix, they back themselves in terms of sales to ensure they come out of this transfer window with profit.
Chelsea secure Maxence Lacroix in £52 million move as French defender gears towards Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have reportedly completed one of the biggest defensive deals of the summer after agreeing a £52 million transfer for Crystal Palace centre-back Maxence Lacroix. The 26-year-old French defender is now expected to undergo a medical before signing a long-term contract that will officially make him a Chelsea player. The move represents another ambitious statement from the West London club as they continue reshaping the squad under manager Xabi Alonso. Chelsea's recruitment strategy has focused on bringing in technically gifted players capable of playing an aggressive, possession-based style, and Lacroix is viewed as an ideal fit. The negotiations between Chelsea and Crystal Palace reportedly progressed quickly after the Blues identified the Frenchman as one of their priority defensive targets. Club officials were impressed by his pace, aerial dominance, composure in possession, and Premier League experience. Chelsea had monitored Lacroix long before his arrival in England. During his impressive spell in Germany with Wolfsburg, he established himself as one of Europe's most promising defenders. His performances earned interest from several elite clubs before Crystal Palace secured his signature. Since joining Palace, Lacroix has adapted well to English football. His athleticism, intelligent positioning and leadership qualities have made him one of the club's standout performers. Those displays have now reportedly convinced Chelsea to invest £52 million to bring him to Stamford Bridge. The player is expected to undergo the final stages of his medical before signing a long-term contract. Once completed, Chelsea are expected to announce him as one of the marquee arrivals of the transfer window. Lacroix's arrival would significantly strengthen Chelsea's defensive department. His ability to play in a high defensive line makes him particularly suited to Maresca's tactical approach. His recovery speed allows Chelsea to press aggressively without leaving themselves vulnerable to counter-attacks. Standing at over 6 feet tall, Lacroix combines physical dominance with technical quality. He is comfortable bringing the ball out from the back, breaking opposition lines with accurate passes and winning crucial aerial duels in both penalty areas. Chelsea believe his experience in both the Bundesliga and Premier League will help provide balance to a relatively young squad. At 26 years old, he is entering what many consider the prime years of a central defender's career. Supporters have reacted positively to the reports, with many believing Lacroix possesses the attributes needed to improve Chelsea's consistency at the back. His speed and composure could complement the club's existing centre-backs, while increasing competition for places. For Crystal Palace, losing one of their key defenders would undoubtedly be a significant setback. However, the reported £52 million fee would represent a substantial financial return and could provide the club with resources to strengthen other areas of the squad. Chelsea's recruitment team reportedly believes Lacroix has the mentality required to succeed at one of Europe's biggest clubs. His professionalism, work ethic and determination have been praised throughout his career. The French defender is expected to integrate quickly into Chelsea's pre-season preparations once his medical is completed. Alonso is reportedly eager to work with him as the team prepares for the challenges of competing in domestic and European competitions. If officially confirmed, the signing would underline Chelsea's ambition to build a squad capable of challenging for major honours. Strengthening the defence has been viewed as a priority, and Lacroix's arrival would address one of the team's most important needs. Chelsea supporters will now eagerly await the official announcement, photographs and first interview as the club prepares to welcome another high-profile addition to Stamford Bridge. While attention will soon turn to how Lacroix performs on the pitch, expectations will undoubtedly be high. Fans will hope he can establish himself as a commanding presence in defence and help Chelsea compete consistently at the highest level. Should the transfer become official following his medical, Lacroix will begin a new chapter in his career wearing the famous blue shirt, with the aim of helping Chelsea return to the summit of English and European football.